Let me show you what's happening in this question. 5 marks. So this is probably the first, if not the second time, I'm showing you a mole question in organic chem, very common, and most students cannot handle it, all right, because they're not used to it. But it's not difficult. The way we play mole a bit different. By today, you'll see from what we do more in Sec 3 and early part of Sec 4, all right? Here we go. Alkane T, how much? This mole of it was reacted with a gas P. I say, okay, gas P. And you get gas Q, all right, how much of it? 960 of gas Q was out. Okay, so you know what? I'm not going to even waste time. I'm going to say put this all in. Because I know it's mole ratio, I want to have a good idea. I mean, a mole calculation, right? I'm going to do mole ratio comparison in a while. Was formed at the room temperature and pressure, right? For Sec 3, Sec 4 students, IPO O-level alike, our condition is always room temperature, so there's nothing to wow us. So let's just be like that. Now, then they start to ask us, calculate the number of moles of carbon atoms in 1 mole of alkane T. It's all about the keywords. You realize anything I never highlight is redundant to me. They're just useless English words. I'd like to go straight to the point as being a math and science student. All right? And give the molecular formula and the name of this alkane T. Got it. After which, write a balanced equation or other business, all right, for the reaction between alkane T and your gas P. I say, okay, I'll just write equation. What equation? This equation. Okay, this equation. So where should we start and how should we move? That's always the question. All right, so let's take a look. You realize, first of all, what is this equation that they want us to eventually balance? Someone, every reaction equation has a chemical name, a reaction name attached to it. May I know what is this reaction? This is called combustion. Correct? Alkane CnH2n plus 2. All right. You put a gas P. So I'm very sure that this is an alkane. All right. So CnH2n plus 2. I'm very sure the reaction here is called combustion. And to be more precise, what combustion? Complete combustion. This is complete combustion because I get what out? Oh, you don't know it's combustion or not complete yet. So I remove that word. Okay, so at least we know it's combustion. Let me show you. And you know this is O2. Yes, O2 gas. So you don't know what's gas Q. It could be carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. And I'm very sure it's carbon dioxide. Why? You realize that this is the equation they want you to write. Then from the passage from here to here, they never ever talk about here at all. You realize that? Can't be a question, have something there, don't talk about it, or never use one. So indirectly, you got to use it, like QA. Okay? Remember QA? Which everyone Sec 4, you've learned it already. So from here, I'm very sure this is a QA test. Because calcium hydroxide is also commonly known as lime water. And when I know that lime water I test with which gas, my friend? Carbon dioxide. I will get a white precipitate of calcium carbonate. And because of that, I therefore know this is complete combustion. Once again, very confidently. Okay? Everything is there. The Sec 4 students, you need to cross topic. You don't have a choice, you don't have a chance if you don't cross topic. It's your job to cross. In case nobody tell you, let me be the one to be very frank with you. Okay? So here we go. What I'm going to do, how we're going to start. We're going to start by attacking the blue color question, light blue, right? Calculate number of carbon atoms. So what will you do? We also appreciate, just now we mentioned, this is a mole calculation question. All right, what do we do? Those have taught you mole before, I told you what. First step, you don't know what to do. What do you do to a mole calculation question? You convert everything to number of moles. Thank you, Joshua, loud and clear. As always, the first step, don't wait. I saw there's only one value here that can convert. I'm going to convert it. That's always the protocol, the step by step. All right, which is 960 cm cubed divided by 24,000 cm cube per mole, the molar volume in cm cube. You flip over, this is, I believe, 0.04 mole, from what I can recall from yesterday's class. Right? If not, can use a calculator, help me check. So once we have the mole of one and we have the mole of the second one, what do? We can start to then do what? We do molar ratio comparison. And this is how we solve it. We are in primary 3 ratio. Okay? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about alkane T. I'm going to use this space. Give me a moment. I'm running out of space here on my screen. Alkane T, the ratio to where? To gas Q, which is carbon dioxide. Yes? So I'm going to write a form of a ratio itself, 0.01 mole, which I divide later, it becomes 1 mole. Why divide in 1 mole? I'll show you in a while. Until 1 mole, all right? This is 0.04 mole. So the ratio is 1:4. You can never memorize this question. Okay, I repeat myself as we move. If you're trying to, where did I learn this? Where did I want to memorize it? Sorry, you lost the question. So ladies and gentlemen, what we understand is this. An alkane T does what? It reacts with oxygen gas. It's complete combustion. There's excess of oxygen. And therefore, it reforms your carbon dioxide and the water, right? Water, whatever color I use, I'm not going to use it, whatever there also anyway. So I just write here, water vapor to be more precise. Okay? Now, so what is important? We are doing molar ratio. We are going to ratio, we're going to do primary 3. Now, you must agree with me, the alkane is what? The alkane is limiting reactant because it's complete combustion. And we know the ratio is 1 is to what? 1 mole of this, when it burns, it gives me 4 moles of carbon dioxide. Catch up a bit. And you appreciate what is an alkane, ladies and gentlemen. An alkane, once again, CnH2n plus 2. There's carbon and hydrogen. Everyone, think, not memorize. I repeat myself. And everyone will be me for a while. If not, those that really joined some, I saw you since last year. Came for my revision workshop in November/December. Okay? And I will tell you, this is what I taught you. And this is how my J2 student every week used to solve question, or rather every 2 weeks when we do question. And you heard this phrase before. Ready? This is basically a balanced chemical equation. And in balanced chemical equation, this phrase for me always stands. It's called whatever I wrong, not so fast. Whatever I eat, I eat. And I solve question all the way to university honors years. Higher level, maybe they don't do this, I don't know. My highest qualification is honors. Yes, whatever. My GC students, every 2 weeks we solve like that because the question all like that. So ladies and gentlemen, they ask you how many carbon atoms, right? Yes. Do you realize all the carbon atoms on the right hand side, whatever you shit out, because you know what you shit out, right? It's all there. How many carbon atoms you shit out? 4 moles. Do you realize? 4 moles of CO2 got 4 moles of carbon atoms. Are you with me, everyone? It's like 4 Sean Chua will have 4 head. Are you with me? My head is my carbon. Ratio has no meaning one since primary 3. Ratio is just, what is the ratio? What's the ratio of old people to young people? Wow, that's a lot big ratio. Right? 1 is to don't know how many. What is the ratio of male to female? Right? Ratio. That's what comparison. It has no other meaning in life. That's what is called ratio in mathematics. So ladies and gentlemen, what I know is all the carbon you realize come from CO2. Yes? Right? And I know what? I know over here what I shit out is 4 moles of CO2. That's why I say they will have 4 moles of carbon atoms that is shitted out. So 4 moles of carbon atom shifted out must also be 4 moles of carbon eaten in. Who gives you carbon? The only one is the alkane in the form of here. And therefore, I have solved it already. Done. Done already lor. So since I know there's 4 carbon, I also therefore know N equals to 4. Make sense? So I solve it already lor. Okay, ready? Okay, just use black color, blue color, right? So therefore N equal to 4. Therefore we apply the formula C4H2 times 4 plus 2. What is the formula? C4H10. So I've solved another 1 mark. And what's the name of an alkane at C4H10? 4 carbon is called butane. I got another 1 mark. Done. 5 marks, we got 4 already. By playing with the question using our basic concept so secure, we map it to what we need to do. And we cross topic a bit, which is to mold in this case. Okay lah, with that, done already. They want balance equation, and here we go. Butane. C4H10 plus O2 and gives you CO2 and H2O. They never say state symbols. Put or don't put? Put my head. You put wrong, then minus mark. Put for what? My teacher always say put. Rubbish. You hear wrongly. I doubt your teacher say that. When the question asks you to put, then you put for balance equation. But ionic equation must always put. Because ionic equation, how do we get it? We get it by the state symbols. Remember? The first few steps was the state symbols. So you always need to have the state symbols there. Balance equation, don't write state symbols. So now our job now is to do what? Right, is to balance it. So how to balance? Those in my Sec 3 class before, or this year you're in my Sec 3 class, right, I taught you some strategy. Right? Those are not, it's not blindly copy. You got a strategy. We always say balance the matter followed by the non-matter. O and H is the last one. Yes? So there's no matter here. I will start to balance the one and only non-matter there's not O and H, which is carbon. You can see there's 4 left, 1 on the right. Very clearly, I'm going to times 4 here. Yes? Next, I have the O and the H. You can start either one, but because it's a combustion reaction, those I've taught before, again, whatever number you put here, you only affect the O. It makes sense to balance the O as the last one, so they won't disturb other elements. If not, you have to go round robin many round. Again, all by awareness, all by common sense. In case your teacher never tell you that, or your private tutor previously, or maybe some of you still have a private tutor. All right. So what we do, we're going to handle the H first with strategy. The H over here is how many? On the left is all in the alkane. There are 10. On the right, they are all on the water or in the water. 2. So I times 5 is happy. There is a system. You came here in winners for the system, for the strategy, beside the concepts. Okay? So use it. So now O. How many O? Then we start to count. All right? Then this side. At the moment here, 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. 8, 5, 13. 13 oxygen atom. At the moment here, I need 13, but you have 2 only. Everyone okay? Because I taught you before, what did I say? I use something that is in JC, very useful one. Okay, very good. Clarence, Auric, we use fraction. You don't learn this in school, but it's so useful, and I think whoever taught you, they are non-chemists by training. They are forced to teach chemistry. In uni, they didn't learn chemistry, but they're forced. That's why they don't know these skills. We use this 13/2. Follow me closely because it's very fast. Because an exam speed is important. 13/2 times 2O is as good as this cancel this, i.e. I have 13 already. Understand, everyone? So now the equation is balanced. At higher level, JCIB or diploma with chemistry itself, this is the equation that we submit. But because you're Sec 3, Sec 4 students, you cannot submit this equation because they don't allow fraction. So my math teacher say how to get rid of fraction, multiply by the denominator. And therefore, this is your balance equation. Don't believe, you count. I'm very sure it is balanced for all elements. And through this question, this is a quick recap for writing equation with strategy. Okay.
If you would like to catch my latest videos, click on subscribe button right now. And click on the bell if you want to receive instant notifications once I've uploaded my latest video. If you would like to join my live chemistry classes and revision workshops, go on to winnerseducation.com and find out how you can score distinction for chemistry on a consistent basis, either in our center or online via Zoom. If you want to check out my online school, go on to passwithdistinction.teachable.com. You'll be able to learn chemistry concepts at your own pace and anywhere in the world, topic by topic. This is Sean Chua from Winners Education, to your distinction in chemistry.